Hello and welcome to my heavy armor stamina Dragon Knight build for the Summerset patch. I released a medium armor build on this channel a few weeks ago as well, but I tend to swap back and forth between these two setups depending on what I'm doing. This setup is of course running heavy armor, and it also is running sword and shield, where my other build was running bow. So it's different both in terms of gear and as in terms of skills. And I want to start by saying a little bit about the skills, because that plays into the sets I'm wearing as well. I wanted to have a way to deal with snares and immobilizations, which is always useful when you're in Cyrodiil. Normally you would tend to use either shuffle if you're in medium armor, so that's not an option. Then you would normally use forward momentum, and I like forward momentum a lot, but I kind of wanted to have rally as a heal here as well. So going with the other morph, I needed a different way to deal with snares and immobilizations. And I chose to go with wings instead. Morph that's called reflective plate here. On activation, removes all snare effects. This will be buffed, I think, next patch to also give you immunity to snares and immobilizations for 2 seconds, similar to what shuffle does. It's not as good as forward momentum, but it can suffice in most situations. But it's kind of a trade-off. You get some extra burst healing from rally, although you don't have as much mobility as you would with forward momentum. So going with these skills, you can see I'm running 3 magic abilities on the sword and board bar, being my armor buff, volatile armor, fragmented shield, and reflective plate. Running these 3 skills is quite a magic drain, so I've had to accommodate for that in my gear setup. You want to keep fragmented up as much as possible, because it provides major mending for 5.5 seconds when you cast it, and you want to keep this up roughly every 6 seconds as well if you can, to reflect projectiles, and also you want to use it to remove snares. So you need to have a lot of incoming magicka in order to sustain running these 3 skills, which is why I've chosen to run the gear setup I have. Specifically, I've chosen to run the Maelstrom sword and shield on the back bar. So this is called the Rampaging Slash set. So when you deal damage with low slash, your next fully charged heavy attack used within 5 seconds restore an additional 2000 magicka and stamina. So this is good both for your magic sustain as well as your stamina sustain. So this is the way I am able to run all these abilities here. By using heroic slash and then using heavy attacks, I'm gaining a lot of magicka back, and that allows me to use these abilities more frequently. On the front bar, I'm using the Cyrodiils Crest set. This is only active on the front bar, so only when I'm on the offense. And I've chosen to run this for the 5-piece here. Let's just swap so you can see. For the 5-piece here, it applies Major Defile to the enemy for 5 seconds, reducing their healing received by 39%. I have a few CP in. Normally it would just be 30%. And this lasts for 5 seconds. And also the second and third piece bonus here is decent. Weapon damage and health, we need both of those. The healing taken is not the best, but it's okay. I'm running double dot poisons, and I'm running a Nirnhoned Battle Axe. The Nirnhoned Battle Axe is to proc the bleed along with the poisons. That allows me to have a lot of dot damage without having to slot a lot of dot abilities on my bar. On the back bar, I have an impenetrable shield with a tri-stat enchant on it. That's just the enchant it came with. I haven't changed it. And an infused mace with a weapon and spell damage glyph. So I'll proc this on the sword and shield bar when I'm using the the heroic slash, and then I'll swap to the 2H bar for the offense. Then I'm running Bloodspawn, heavy, impen with Tristat glyph, and the shoulder is also heavy, impen with a stamina enchant. Then I'm running Cyrodiils Crest on the chest, the legs, and the feet, giving me the 5-piece heavy on those items. On all the three, or sorry, on two of the big pieces, I'm running Tristat enchants, and the rest is stamina. And then I'm running Bone Pirate as the last set on the belt and the hands, as well as the jewelry. I have weapon damage on all 3 pieces of jewelry, and I'm running in total 6 pieces impen and 1 divines. That's what I had for this build. You could go something else, but yeah, divines is fine by me. I just want to have the 6 pieces impen at least. Yeah. So in terms of the skills, as I explained before, I'm running these 3 abilities here, the Magicka abilities. That's sort of my defensive ones, along with Resolving Vigor and Heroic Slash. So Heroic Slash is good for 3 different reasons, so to speak. Both it provides minor maim, which is good for damage mitigation. It's decent damage, and it provides me with a bit of a slow, and it provides me with minor heroism as well as proccing the Maelstrom set. So overall, a great ability for this setup. Resolving Vigor explains itself, and then I'm running Spell Wall on the back bar as a defensive ultimate. On the front bar, I have Rally, Dizzy Swing, Stampede, Reverse Slice, pretty straightforward, and then I'm running Noxious Breath for the debuff. I'm here, yeah, and Take Flight. Now, when I'm buffed up, I have a Dizzy tooltip. Okay, just now it says 14,650. With continuous and everything up, it's around 16,500, and the Take Flight is around 22k as far as I remember. So it still has decent damage. Also, the reason why I'm running Cyrodiils Crest is for the skill setup. I'm running where I have the 2H as my main bar. I'm relying on Dizzy Swing as my CC, so I'm not running Reverb Bash. Also, Reverb Bash will be nerfed next patch, so the duration of the Major Defile will be decreased from 10 seconds to 4 seconds, which means you can't keep it up as much running that, especially if you're not running Sword and Board as your main bar. Then you'd have to swap back and use it every 4 seconds to keep it up. So this will be a better option for going forward here. Yeah. Also, let's see here. So the buff stats, just gonna buff up here. Looks like this on the Sword and Board bar. So 11,500 max Magicka, 24,500 max health, and 37,600 max stamina. Magic recovery and health recovery is low, but I don't really need that. Stam recovery is 1,700, and weapon damage is, oh, something fell off here. Let's see again. 2,900 on the Sword and Board, and on 2H 3,400 almost. Now this is unbuffed without continuous or anything. I will also post a photo of the buff stats in a moment. Crit is a little bit low. I do use crit pots from time to time, but I swap in between those and the ones that provide me with major expedition, depending on the situation. Physical and spell resistance will of course go up quite a bit as well, since I'm running Bloodspawn. So on the 2H bar, when I'm fully buffed, my armor is sitting just around 30k. On the Sword and Board, it's just around the armor cap. So it's really good resistances generally. And my weapon damage when I'm fully buffed will go up to 4,250, I think. So with 4,250 weapon damage and 37k max stam, and major defile constantly, you're putting out a lot of pressure. Yeah. For the food and for the food and the potions, I'm running Dubious Camoran Throne, of course, proc Bone Pirate, and I use 3 different potions depending on the situation. I have tri-stat potions. Then these are the ones I use mainly. Immunity, knockback and disabling effects, major expedition and stamina, or these just without the major expedition but crit instead. But these would be the main ones. Also, I am a red guard. I'm running the Warrior Mundus for more weapon damage, and I'm a stage 4 vampire. Now the vampire is not a must, it's just a personal preference. Not really for this build, but more for the other build I'm running, where I have a lot of recovery. I like the added recovery from vampire, but you can easily drop this. A lot of people don't like vampire, and I get that, so feel free to remove that if you want to. Then for the champion points, in the green tree I have 48 in Warlord, 16 in Sprinter, 56 in Mooncalf, 19 in Tenacity, 33 in Befoul, 37 in Tumbling, 40 in Shadow Ward, 27 Blessed, 66 Master at Arms, 6 in Physical Weapon Expert, 23 in Thaumaturge, 44 in Precise Strikes, 35 in Piercing, and 49 in Mighty. Also in the red tree, Ironclad 56, Resistant 40, Hardy 43, Elemental Defender 43, Thick-Skinned 34, Quick Recovery 19, and Heavy Armor Focus 15. This is just because DKs inherently have more spell resistance than physical resistance, so this closes the gap a bit between those two. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll post a photo of the buff stats here if you'd like to see that, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes, who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping my wet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking hoes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree. Love it when they call me Big Pop. Throw your hands in the air and use a true player. I love it when they call me Big Pop. Big Pop. Big Pop. I love it when they call me Big Pop. Throw your hands in the air and use a true player. I love it when they call me Big Pop. Big Pop. Big Pop. Straight up, honey, really, I'm asking. Most of these niggas think they be macking, but they be acting. Who they attracting with that line? What's your name? What's your sign? Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are. Who you be with? Things to make you smile. What numbers to dial? You gon' be here for a while. I'm gon' call my crew. You gon' call your crew. We can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave. Throw the keys to little C's. Pull the truck up front and roll up the next blunt so we can steam on the way to the telly. Go fill my belly. A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. Conversate for a few, cause in a few we gon' do what we came to do. Ain't that right, boo? Right, boo? Forget the telly, we just go to the crib and watch a movie in the jacuzzi, smoke L's while you do me. Love it when they call me Big Papa, Big Papa, Big Papa. I love it when they call me Big Papa.